What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and when I see what the CEO of CD Projekt Red is saying over on Twitter, talking about the number of people still working in his studio who were there for the original Witcher games, I'm reminded of a Shakespearean quote.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
The thing is, a lot of people in very important roles from CDPR's previous games have left the company. CDPR knows that people are worried about this, and they want you to stop worrying, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. We spoke about this the other day. One of the directors of the upcoming Witcher 4 talked about how they got all the new people in the company up to speed by working on a quest for the Witcher 3 DLC from a couple years ago, and the media ran with this story. I said then that it was very telling that the media took a simple little quote from one of the dudes working on this game and turned it into an entire article, almost as if they know that this is a problem, but they don't want you talking about it.
Please disperse! Nothing to see here!
Well, clearly it wasn't enough that the media was running cover for them and pushing this narrative out into the world that everything is okay. Now, the CEO of CD Projekt Red is chiming in on X, trying to spin this so that it seems like CDPR is the same as it ever was. But the truth is that they have lost some incredibly vital talent in the past few years, and the new hires that CD Projekt Red have been bringing on board are the sort of woke devs who seem to care more about progressive messaging than they do telling a story. They're the sort of hires that make gamers roll their eyes and say that they're feeling
Disappointed!
But Michal Nowakowski, the CEO of CDPR, he and the rest of this company believe they can hide all of this away, as if we won't notice all of these shit hires that they've made, all their commitments to DEI and ESG and all that other garbage, as if we are willingly blind. Sure, they might fool the corporate ass-kissers out there who want to be fooled, who will see the Access media writing articles about this, and they'll assume that everything is swell, but the rest of us are relentlessly asking for more answers, and this CEO and his company may think they're slick with their efforts to conceal the turnover from the studio, to conceal their bad hires, but we're on to them.
I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox. Oh, shit!
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. We just passed another subscriber milestone, so it is time to ask the obligatory question.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
There are now 116,000 space pirate a-holes in this buccaneer crew of ours, and as is the custom on the channel, with every 1,000 subscribers, we add a new ship to the fleet in order to house all the new guys. This time, one of you suggested that I add the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix. It wasn't fit for space travel at first, but it was retrofitted with all that it needs. But anyways, if any of you have recommendations for future ships, drop them into the comment section below and I'll add them to my list. For your reference, I've also added an alphabetical list of the ships already in the fleet to the description of this video. In any case, thanks to all of you for being here. I will do my best to keep earning your viewership.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
But alright, let me start this off by saying that I hope The Witcher 4 ends up being awesome. I'm rooting for CDPR to succeed, but I'm also not going to listen to their shit and just take in what they say without questioning it. because it really does look like the company's structure is not what it once was. Later on today, as an example, the studio Rebel Wolves is actually putting out the reveal trailer for their new Dawnwalker game, and that studio is comprised of all kinds of former higher-ups from CDPR. In fact, the director of Witcher 3 is running that studio after he was run out of CD Projekt Red due to a bunch of woke turds running to the HR department and saying that he was a bully. Let's just say that a company which does that sort of thing, which pushes out talent in order to foster what appears to be a growing culture of toxic positivity, well, I'm not inclined to believe them when they say shit like this. This is a tweet from the company's CEO. He's quote tweeting Philip Weber, the narrative director of Witcher 4, who was telling everyone about how they got their new hires supposedly up to speed working on a quest for the DLC of Witcher 3. But the company's CEO said The Witcher 3 turns 10 this May. Around 100 of its developers are working with us to this day on our new projects, including The Witcher 4. Some are actually veterans from The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 1, including my esteemed co-CEO, Adam Batowski, who has been with the series since its inception back in 2002. So here's the thing. If about 100 developers are still with the company, as he says, then about half of them are gone, as we're going to see in just a second here. Here is a Twitter user asking the obvious follow-up question, 100 of how many? Because the internet says there was 1,500 people working on Witcher 3. Doesn't sound like a lot of people still working. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me then. And the CEO responded, happy to correct, we were north of 200 people on The Witcher 3. So, like I said, about half of the developers are gone. Nothing to see here, folks. We're still the same studio. Over half of us are different, but never mind that. But the thing is, in all truth, losing around half of the studio in 10 years might not be the worst thing as long as the pillars of the studio, the really important positions, remain in place. But that simply isn't the case. The directors of the last two games that the studio did, Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, both directors of those games are gone. They both went off to form their own studios because they were clearly disenchanted with the direction of CDPR. Now, when you combine all of that with this crap here, where on their own website they tell us that they're hyper-focused on DEI initiatives, and then you look at some of the high-profile people that they've brought into the studio, people like Kian Mar, the lore master of The Witcher, who says he wants to punch gamers, or Mary Kenny, the ex-Kotaku writer and former narrative director of the PS5 Wolverine game, who says we need to pull every lever to add as much LGBT stuff into games as possible. When you take all of this in, it becomes clear why people are nervous about the direction of this company. And now, this response to the CEO has been making the rounds on social media in the past day. This person here wrote, I love how they keep pushing the word that they still have staff who worked on the previous Witcher titles like we don't know they lost the prime meat from the bone. They also don't want to openly tell you about those Sweet Baby Inc. employees working for them now. And then Nowakowski replied, we are not working and never worked with Sweet Baby, never even heard of them until recently, to be honest. Also, we have not lost prime meat, as you put it. And now, to be clear, there is no evidence that CD Projekt Red works with Sweet Baby at all, and I'm not sure what the guy meant when he was talking about the Sweet Baby employees working at CDPR. But Mary Kenny has worked with Sweet Baby because they consulted, Sweet Baby that is, consulted on the PS5 Wolverine game. But while she is a dogshit hire, Mary Kenny is a bad hire who was let go from Wolverine before the game was finished, probably because her feminist approach isn't exactly compatible with the character that she was writing for, but she is categorically not a Sweet Baby hire. She did not work for Sweet Baby Inc. But this guy was definitely correct in pointing out that the prime meat has been lost off the bone. I mean, for full context, basically the entire studio of Rebel Wolves was the meat and potatoes of the who's who of big names for The Witcher 3. But anyhow, here are some comments from the CDPR new hires who replaced the guys at Rebel Wolves. These are comments that gamers have been rightfully upset about. Here's Mary Kenny during the height of the Sweet Baby controversy last year, defending Sweet Baby, condescendingly trying to explain what a video game consultant does because she thinks gamers will believe her BS. And then here's Kian Mar, a fairly new hire for the company who was brought on as a lore designer, saying he wants to punch gamers. Isn't that lovely? Doesn't it just fill you with hope to see the sorts of people that CDPR has brought on board? And the CEO simply saying that things are great, that everything is still just normal, everything's functioning perfectly normal, that is not enough to sway me into thinking otherwise. In fact, him starting this conversation in the first place is very telling. He obviously fears that they are a different studio now. If they were self-assured and certain that the Witcher 4 staff was awesome, they'd shrug off critiques that they had lost too much of their workforce, but instead, the media writes articles about how awesome and experienced their studio is, and now he's commenting on it. The lady doth protest too much, folks. Once again, hopefully, The Witcher 4 ends up being good, but I have my doubts, and trying to spin things like the CEO and the Access Media are doing certainly isn't going to magically instill me with confidence, but I'm going to leave it there. What do you think of the makeup of CD Projekt Red these days? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.